Commissioner of the Trsba here, 30th of November 2025, leading into Christmas very quickly. And I just want to do a bit of a recap on how things have been going when it comes to the Trsba. So we're going to, without any further ado, we're going to get going there. So let's just have a look at what has been happening. So I'll see if I can share my screen. Let's have a look here. See if this works. Hopefully it does. Yep, okay. Goody. Okay, so here we go. This is the podcast, first one really since the season started. So let's have a look at what we've got to talk about today. Let's have a look at the best players so far this year. Nikola Jokic, not a surprise that he's the best, but Giannis I thought would have been number one. Luka's right up there at number two. SGA at four, no surprises there. Victor out injured a bit, but he's at five. Torrey six, definitely a bit of a surprise, but he's certainly expected to go. Katie Cunningham's been really good. James Harden at eight. It's just considering his age, that's definitely he's the best person in his age bracket or higher. Austin Reeves, we'll talk about him shortly. Donovan Mitchell, Josh Giddey, Jalen Johnson, Tyler Hero's only had a couple of games back. Alperen Şengün, Laurie Market, and another, maybe a surprise one in there as well, Jalen Brunson. Let's have a look at the biggest surprises. We got Austin Reeves dunking at 39.47 fantasy points a game. He's been fantastic. Michael Porter Jr. has been, well, I thought he'd be good. I thought he wouldn't be too far away from this. And this is what he's doing. Keontae George Dennis has been really, really good. Jalen Duren has been good. Missed a couple of games lately, though, or today. Jrue Holiday, that's a bit of a surprise. Roland Rollins, definitely a surprise. Hami Huckers Hunya, also a bit of a surprise, but Miami have had their injuries at the start of the year. Let's have a look at this trade. The trade is we've got the Ja Morant to the Jaguars. So there's Commissioner Timbo with shaking hands with Ja Morant and getting rid of Miles Bridges, who's gone to the Saints with Dennis. And some fill-ins, a first-round draft pick for 2026 is in there as well, but a few players and I guess Dennis wanted to make sure he got every single little bit of thing he could out of that trade, including an Isaiah Stewart as a thrown-in deal. So, bit sooky, yes, but we'll see. We'll see. The Saints have been going okay despite the injuries, which we'll talk about soon. Here are the Death Valley Barbarians. They are the ranked number one team in the TRSB at the moment, and it's because of Tyrese Maxey. He's the one. He's at 43.6 at 18 games. He's been very consistent. He's been really good. Victor Wembanyama's had 12 games, 44. That's very expected. He's doing well. Siakam certainly doing well. Wagner, that's about what he does. Curry still doing pretty decent. He's had a lot of decent games, to be fair, at 34. Buckets 31. And then after that, it comes down to who do you want to put into the lineup next. Hartenstein has been really, really good, 26.2. Jalen Williams only had one game back, but I expect him to make a contribution. Jabari Smith has been good, as has Aaron Gordon, out injured for a while. Dante DiVincenzo, another good player. Sumani Kamara, they signed him to a long-term deal. Peyton Watson and Jeremy Shosha. So looking very deep for the number one team in the TRSBA. The Pens, definitely from Cade Cunningham's really good performances, 42.8. I expected him to be great, but probably not quite that great, right? Just under 40, but he's been above that. He's been really, really good. Alperen Şengün has been solid as expected, as has Towns. So when you've got those three there with Booker and Brunson, you probably do have the best starting five in the TRSBA. Desmond Bain, on a run lately. Got that last 10 games, 31 FP after starting out about what 21 or 22. So dramatically improved. Onyeka Okongwu has been really good with all the Porzingis games that he misses. DeAndre Ayton, what you'd probably expect from him. Um, Mitchell and Trey Jones. So this team probably not that deep down the bottom of the roster, and they can get tested with some injuries, but injuries aren't there at the moment. So they are making hay while it is ready to do so. Third best team is the Nerds, the champions, still celebrating after their win the previous season. Let's have a look at who's actually doing well. And really, only one player stands out at the moment, and that's James Harden, who I thought was going to be their best player at the start of the season, 39.6, and he is that at the moment. It's an interesting lineup at the moment. They've got Vooch starting. He's not going to be any better than was last year, probably worse. LeBron has just come back, so I expect him to be okay. Leonard is their number two guy, but he's only played 9 games. PJ's been a great signing, as has Peyton Watson, as has Westbrook. Those three guys, very good signed free agents. DeRozan, as expected by a lot of us, has really plummeted, and I expect that to stay like that all year. This could be his worst season in quite some time, maybe since his second or third year. OG Anunoby is out injured. Paul George, we've seen some games. We don't expect too much. Are they living on borrowed time, this team? I think they are. I think it's, don't know. I just can't see them getting lucky 2 years in a row. I really don't. I think they had all the pieces last year and they're all healthy. It's very difficult for this team, this aging team, to remain healthy, in my opinion. I know that's not sort of red devil blue colors, but too bad, Dan. We'll move on. On to the fourth place Boars, and despite Tatum being out, they have returned some really good stats, mainly because Austin Reeves has been the biggest shining light in history. Look at that, 39.5. I'll have to go back through what the trade actually was, but it's certainly going to favour the Boars. Anthony Edwards has got a lot of room to grow here. He's been on a bit of a tear the last 10, 39.2, so expect him to be probably closer to the top 10 very soon. Derek White is solid. Randall's been the man, though. He's been really good as well. Zubac, not better than as he was last year, but we expect him to deliver some big games. Levine, as we know, is shit. Was going not as good as he was. Reed and Schroeder, yeah, it's desperate, but that's what you have to do to fill up a roster sometimes. Harrison Barnes, got to really be desperate to fill up a roster. Herter, De Silva. I mean, my record's not better, so I can't really say anything at the moment until that switches a bit. Saints had a lot of injuries, and that's why they're fifth at the moment, but they're still there. Let's have a look at what's going well. Jalen Johnson's going well. That's 18 games at 37.7. That's really good. SGA, as we said, very, very solid. Trae Young out, as he's only played 5 games. This has been disappointing for Dennis, big time. And they just traded Ja Morant for Miles Bridges. So we'll see what happens with that one. Keontae George definitely been a shining light, as has Benedict Mathurin with the 8 games, and same in recent games with Reed Shepherd. Pajemski is okay deep, but these are some players that came over in the trade. So we'll see what they do. But the Saints will be there if they get some health going. We've only seen 9 Williamson games. He's only played 1 out of every 2. That's piss poor, really. We need him to play 60 games out of the 80 if they're going to do any good. Mobley, also, it's 31.8. It's a tough team to get lots of good stats on. We don't expect him to be the man with Donovan Mitchell in his way, but yeah, just note that about Evan Mobley. Jags are in 6th spot, and that's surprising a few people, but injuries have just hit hard. We can talk about that in a minute. Really hard. They're going to be not going to be able to fill a team soon, which is disappointing considering how often we've had enough players to fill teams, but I think that's going to run out of luck. Duran's been better than expected. He's nearly at an all-star level, 32.6. Porzingis has been pretty good. This is what you expect, but again, missing about 7 or 8 games. Porter has been really good. We spoke about him. Armand is probably not quite as good as where he's going to end up at the end of the year, but he's as bad as he's playing, he's still in the top 50. Ja Morant, it's, we know that he's coming back in a game or two. We are hoping, we're hoping that he'll be able to deliver. Steph Castle, one player who had delivered in the 13 games, as had Jay Rue Holiday in the 12 that those guys have been playing. Problem is, they're both on the injury list. Problem is, when they come back, it's going to be a lot harder to get those stats that they had when they left. With Vassell's been good lately with the injury to Castle. Grayson's just come back from injury. Vince Williams signed as a free agent. Jordan Poole out, as is Anthony Simon. So this is worried. We have to worry. Rely on Case and Wallace and a few others. Um, Hurricanes seventh, and this is not surprising considering they've filled out their good players still. They're all healthy. Bam's back. Was out for about 5 games. Joker at the best player in the league, 51-4. Keldon, not sure what he does in the 5, but that's easy there at the moment. Oubre's out. Naismith is crap. Brown is crap. I like the Clowney trade. I think that was smart. Rui Hachimura is pretty bad. Quentin Jackson signed off the free agent list. Mitchell's been the man, so good, and also Murray's been good as well. It's about all to say for them. They are definitely good. The eighth place Butchers, this is the team that had all those draft picks a couple of years ago, but they're starting to turn into nearly a 500 team here. Mark Williams, not missing a couple of games though, but he's not as good as Duran this year, which is surprising. Avdia has been the man as expected. We always knew he was going to get 35. Trey Murphy has been good. I was hoping he'd be better than this. De'Aaron Fox has been really, really good, mainly because Wemby and Castle have been out lately. He's had 10 games. Flag is a rookie. We expect a little bit better, but we know that's going to happen. One of the biggest surprises for me, Hokes Hunya. It's been a surprise. Klingon's doing what he's expected. Only Keegan has just come back from injury. Mikal Bridges is starting as well, 27.5. He's actually been pretty good this season, to be fair. He's sort of flying under the radar quite some. Bilal's been crap. Delangelo is crap. Middleton is old. So that's the Butchers 500 ball club right now. Hounds 7-9. Washington. Let's have a look. Markkanen's back to some really good form of the All-Star form of a couple of years ago. We knew Giddy was a top 10 player. This is about right. I'm not sure why AJ Mitchell's starting, but he's had a good run, and that's going to come to an end. Jeremy Grant also from nowhere to starting, so that's 2 players that you wouldn't expect. The bench is pretty awful. Anthony Black, I've seen a few good games lately. Look for him to be in the starting lineup very soon. Colin Sexton is Colin Sexton. Max Christie. Whitmore, very much a disappointment. Should have been doing a lot better. Ivy's only just come back from injury. The minutes aren't very high. Jared McCain, same thing. Came back. Minutes aren't high. John Collins has been a disappointment for this team as we go into Team 10. North Carolina, Chet, the Brown Cows. Let's just go through it. Jaylen Brown's been really good, especially lately. Will be a top 15, I think, this season. Apart from that, though, where else do we go here? Moo on the jersey. Chet Holmgren, for a guy that was the number 2 pick in that draft, from a fantasy point player, you probably want him to be in a better position at the moment. He's never going to stiff the jock straps of a 30 FP player in the rest of his career. I don't think, unless he goes to a different team, because this team is loaded, and when you're on a loaded team, you don't have too many guys that, especially the third best guy, in a position where he's going to land 30 fantasy points a game. Now that J-Dub is back, he's probably going to move to that number 2 position on the team, and Chet is going to really find it timed, struggles as to get the stats that are expected. Jaren Jackson's been pretty soft. I would have expected more than 30 for him, but he's at 25, which is really worrying. Quentin Grimes, what are we doing starting him? I guess we don't have any other choice. Quickly sort of doing his thing. Allen his minutes are down, and his stats are down. Adama is crap. Thomas injured again after 8 games. Johnson, I think we'll get a better run now, so expect him to move up the lineups. Tari has been a real disappointment for the Cows. They've still got him. They drafted him, and what value has this guy got after 4 or 5 seasons in the NBA? And he still hasn't shown what we thought he was capable of. The Dub Dubs. This is a team that I expected to be a lot higher. And you could say, okay, well, what's happened here? Let's just, we can't see it all on the screen, but um, it's a bit funny, isn't it? It's not all there. Anyway, AD's just back. Durant has been just got injured. If he's got the last 20 games, that'll probably really provide the stats. Um, Hunter's starting, which is not going to be for a lot of teams in the TRSBA, but here he has to. Kobe White is back, so he was out quite a lot. Luca was out. AD was out, so this is the reason they lost all these games. CJ McCollum still around. Pirtle still there. Keyshawn George has been good, as has Noor. Noor's been really good. Cedric Coward was one of the better draft picks selected this year. He's 20 something fantasy points a game. Gobert still around, but very deep on the list, and he's good. So they are deep. When you look at that team, they are Gobert 11 and up. They look very deep. So I can see some double sandwiches coming up the ladder, I think, as they expected to do when they started the season. I think, yeah, at 6 and 10, I wouldn't be surprised if they're after 25 games, they're 14 and 11. I think they might win eight out of the next 9 games. That's just a prediction because things have got to even out a bit. And I think this team has the makings to really push these other guys in the West. It just hasn't happened yet, and I think it will though. Snipers, another team that I expected to do a lot better, but we've got injuries here. Giannis has played 14 games, so he's missed about 5 or 6. 6 if you include Miles Turner, who's just been awfully awful, considering those 6 games that he's missed. Ingram has been 30 AFP, that's been returned. We've only had 15 power games. That's a lot more than I thought, actually, but yeah, he's doing okay. Garland, not too many games at all, and not great. No Irving, no Portis. Kevin Porter only just came back. Has been Wendell Carter has Kuminga's been a very big disappointment, and so is this team. I'm not sure where they go from here in the tough West. The Tigers are the tank Tigers. Decided Sabonis out injured. We've got Halliburton out for the year. Scotty Barnes leading the team, so he's leading the team with the tanking. Barrett's been okay. Osar Thompson and Gillespie, not a good starting lineup. That's deliberate. Kelly Ware, Superman, 31 over his last 10 has been really good. He's what a player he is. Holland, not nowhere near as good. Kark Brenner has been okay. Jarvis Walker, okay, fair enough. Ricochet Shizen, crap, not even in the top 9. He's bad. He's not great. Namus Cater's probably a good player that the Jags probably shouldn't have waived. But anyway, that's it is what it is. The Lions at 14, 2 and 14. Sar's been really good for this team. He's leading the charge, 31.4. Hero's just come back, only 2 games, but he'll be better than Sar overall, you'd think. Brandon Miller's just come back, so they're going to might roll up a bit here. Sharp has been out. Jalen Green's been out. So they've got a lot of guys out, and this is why they're 2 and 14. Brooks, yeah, he's had to step up. Wiggins, a little bit as well. Daniels, yeah. Suggs, so they've got some depth. Bailey, disappointment so far, but he's a rookie. Drummond, yeah. Sadiq Bay, not too bad. So the Lions, Draymond Green and Collier. On to team 15, we've got the injury-prone Preds. Let's have a look at this Shizen team that these guys have got. They are pretty bad at the moment. They're starting Bazelis, Embiid. He's had 6 games only. He's forever on the injured list, permanent stretcher. Paolo's been injured a lot again. Bazelis has not been great, as a lot of people expected him to break out. VJ Edgecombe, definitely a good pick in the draft. At the start, AO Desuna, there's something wrong. And Nurkic being the 6th man, that's even worse. Moody, yeah, he's okay. Tobias Harris, JV. This is a team that's really struggling. They will be probably the worst team there in the East, or is it who's next after this team? It might be, or is it the Flyers? That could be the worst team, the Flyers. And here we are. Here's Zach Eady's mob. 23. He's had 7 games. He's okay. Merry Christmas. Con Knipple, one of the better rookies, 19 games. Kuzma shit. Why is he starting? Andrew Nemhart is back playing okay. LaMelo Ball. Well, when he's playing, you got to start him, but he's certainly not as good as his potential. Perhaps Dylan Harper's he's good. Um, I think Jalen Wells showing a bit lately. Gafford, shit. Diabate, bad. Trey Johnson not getting the opportunities. Aaron Wiggins has had 9 games that have been all decent as well. Lively, what a disappointment. He hasn't played much as well. Same with our guy called Taylor Hendricks. That will be, that is the TRSBA podcast, the first one after the season has started. We're about close to 20 games down the pike. So Merry Christmas, everybody. If I don't talk to you, if there's any other things that you want to chat about, let us know. But yeah, it's been a good start to the season. Injuries suck, though. I mean, to have the injuries that we've got, with Castle has been out, J. Rue Holiday has been out, we've had Poole out, we've had Porzingis missing games, obviously. Duran missing another game. We've had Porter Jr. missing a game. It's really hard on your team when you have that many team players missing games. Really does. Anyway, I know most of your teams are the same, so anything you want to muck around and chat about, let us know. Okay, see ya.